Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at this 1960s Penncrest Model 100. So I picked this fan up this last weekend at an estate sale. I've been having quite a bit of luck at estate sales and have found a lot of my nicer fans there, and all for really good prices. And this one was no exception. This fan cost me very little, I think, for what it is. I've certainly never seen one like this before. I do know that one is sold previously, but only one other one, so I have never seen one exactly like this before, especially at least for sale or in person. What makes this fan unique is the deluxe stand that it is sitting on. This stand and one other one were offered by JCPenney and just allowed your fan to be on wheels so that you can move it around easier. However, this one has some added features, including a folding feature, and it has some storage options. This particular rolling cart was also advertised as a TV stand, where instead of having the fan, you could mount a television to the stand and use it that way. And then you have the bottom shelf here, which you can use to store things. Now, this is not particularly a fan that I was looking for, but now that I have it and I can see all of what it has to offer, I'm really glad that I picked it up, and I like it a lot more than I thought I would. So let's go ahead and start taking a closer look at all of the features and components of this box fan. Alright, so let's come on over here. We can take a look. We'll start at the top. Here we have a nice little, kind of like a little shelf here. Unfortunately, mine has some damage to it. I don't know what that is, some sort of spill or chemical, but caused this wood veneer to discolor. Pretty unfortunate. I'm not going to find one of these, though. I don't think it would be too hard to replace this if I really wanted to. This is very thick. It's about 1 inch thick. And there's also fake veneer on the bottom. You can see, unfortunately, there's a little crack here. This is just by design, or how it's intended to be, but you can see there's 2 layers of either like fiberboard, plywood, something like that in there. And it's very, very sturdy. You're never gonna break that. It does also have a metal brace on the underside of that piece, held in with 2 screws. Let's take a look at the rest of the table first. You got very nice brass hardware. It's an interesting color, some sort of like tan, beige. But very nice construction, more of these guys around here. This is a little fake wood platform here. Actually, I put it on wrong, but this comes off, and it has, it's just like a little piece of really thin. It's like 3/16 or maybe 1/4 inch at best. Got lots of these little metal ribs here to keep it stable there. So if you put something heavy here, it will be able to support it. Put that back in place there. Very nice square frame. I'm assuming this is probably about 3/4 inch size. Very nice. Then down here we've got one of the parts that I don't like about this. We have these plastic casters on brass hubs, and they do lock. All 4 casters are able to lock. However, these casters are very thin plastic, and they're starting to break down. Like that one over there is really broken, and they're starting to crack. So these might eventually just break, because this is pretty heavy, and these casters aren't really liking it, and they're obviously quite old, so they're brittle. So I don't know where to find replacements for those, but I'm probably going to need them at some point. But the rest of the thing is really nice. That's really the worst thing about it. But the rest of this is pretty nice. Let's take a look now at the fan. Of course, the front grill is plastic. I don't really like front grills or any grills that are plastic. I'd much rather them be metal. But this one is very thick. It's the thickest and the heaviest plastic grill on any of the fans that I've had. So it's not too bad. It's definitely well made. It's not flimsy. Unfortunately here, where it would have said Penncrest, this sticker is just missing. That's really unfortunate, but that's just how it is. Might be able to fix that at some point. I do not know. On the top, there are some with the speed control selector thing. Speed control, 3-speed. For some reason, this also got really messed up. Don't know what caused that. This has the regular Lakewood handle, not the Penncrest ones. I think this is an older fan. One thing I do like about this is it has these little reliefs on either end of the fan, and just kind of makes it look interesting. This is also a very thick fan. A little bit thicker than my other metal box fan. It's about the only fan that I have that is the same thickness as this. Is my General Electric one from the 50s. But of course this is not quite as old, so can't really compare it. We have the 4 rivet blades, and when I got this, the blade was loose, and I feel like that might be somewhat of an issue with these blades, or maybe the Penncrest model. I feel like it's not too uncommon for the blades to become loose, but I haven't had that issue with any other fans. Not really sure why. It's the side of the fan, and then the bottom here, we can see the what the bottom looks like. Obviously it's on a stand, so the bottom has never touched the ground, so it's in very good shape. All the rubber feet are there. Perfectly happy. Now on either side you have these big knobs here to loosen the fan. This one needs to be loosened. It's been over tightened. The problem is these guys with the fan, and you tilt it around, the knobs can become a lot tighter than probably they should be, so that the fan can't move. But you can tilt it any direction, 360 degrees. Here's the cord. Got it plugged into the wall here. Just your standard cord. It comes out of the side of the fan. Now mine doesn't have a grommet there, so I don't know why. I just put some tape on it to protect it. So that's something that else could be fixed up. One other small issue with this fan here is this scrape here is caused by it rubs against the cart on this little piece here. And I know that's not really a big deal, but it is kind of a tight fit with the fan, so it does rub, at least for me. It might be a little bit warped, but that's just what happened. Now I'm going to flip this around so we can take a look at the back of it, and of course I'll have to do that off camera. Alright, so here we go. We got the back of the fan here, so we can take a look at what's on the back. We have a very nice metal grill with these wonderful Lakewood latches, which can be easily undone. I really like this. I can completely remove this. So here's the grill, pretty heavy piece. I like the color of this fan. We can see the insides now. A GE motor. See the ratings on that. These motor supports here are 2 separate pieces which are held on, and they have vibration isolation with rubber, which is very nice. This is a pretty quiet fan. We have the wire which comes up here, which is held in place with clips, and then the speed control piece is held inside of a metal box instead of the plastic bags. And then the cord comes back down, held by metal clips again, until it comes out. So this is quite a nice fan. Got the sticker here, which I don't know if you'll be able to read, but yeah, you can. And then this code 607, I do not know what that means. If someone does know, please let me know. Here are the threads here, which come in from these knobs. They just screw in. I don't know if this is the best connection ever, but that's how they did it. One thing to note is the grill is held in with like little clips that have thread on them, which is actually pretty nice because I find that sometimes these box fans, especially the ones with the plastic grills, over time the screw holes don't quite line up with the holes on the grill. So these you can actually move around a little bit and adjust, and it never gets to a point where you can't put the grill on. The motor in this is big and heavy, just like you would expect from a fan of this age. And the blades are also pretty heavy, and the ones on my fan are in pretty good shape. I did oil the bearings and give it a light cleaning, but as you're seeing, it is about how I got it. So whoever had this before me took really good care of it. I do think the blade is off balance a little bit, but I haven't gotten to doing that yet. I have to take it off the stand, and it's going to be a big process. So that's the fan. I'll get this spun around the back, and then we can see one more thing before we turn it off. So the fan back to its front here, we will be able to see that it has a little thing, mechanism here. It has these spring-loaded pins, which you see, spring-loaded, and another one here. Now what this allows you to do is push this out and pivot this whole arm around this point and bring the fan up a few feet. Now I'm not going to be able to do that on video. It takes that 2 hands and it's kind of scary. This fan is really heavy and there's no protection at all on this. It can just fall, and it's pretty scary. I've already had that happen once. So I'll go ahead and get this flipped around and you can see what that looks like. Alright, so I just got it flipped around here, and it is pretty big. It's easily over 4 feet tall. Yeah, it's a 20-inch box fan, so you can kind of get an idea of the scale. When it's up like this, the fan can still pivot. You have much easier access to the control knob on top. But it's easily like a 30-second process to get this thing flipped around, so it's kind of difficult, and I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it is at least nice that they included this feature. You can see here at the bottom of this, and now you have this bottom shelf wide open for you to put anything else on it, including more fans. So that's pretty cool. There's not quite enough room for a 20-inch fan, but you could fit about like a 16-inch box fan on that. Yeah, it works really nice, and although it's only held up by this one small pin here, it doesn't feel like it's gonna fall down. It feels pretty sturdy. So now that we've seen that, I'll go ahead and get this thing set up here so we can get it, watch it perform. Alright, so we have the fan set up here. Let's go ahead and take it to low. Low speed is very quiet, and it does move a pretty good amount of air for the volume. It does wobble quite a bit. It does need to be balanced. Wobble's probably more out the setting here where it's quite up high. But that's a pretty good speed. Let's go up to the medium. Medium takes a minute to get up to speed. It's moving quite a bit of air. It's pretty I'm not exactly sure what's vibrating. It is. Alright, let's go up to the high. High isn't a huge step up for medium, unfortunately, but it moves a significant amount of air. That's loud, so let's turn it off. You can watch the spin down. So yeah, it needs to be balanced, but I think overall it's a very nice fan, and it does perform just as good as anything else from the time. So I was able to locate the old advertisement for this fan back from around 1965, and I did the math. This setup here with this fan, this stand, adjusted for inflation, today would cost you right around $300. So it's quite an expensive fan, but it's held up this long, so it seems to be proving itself. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. With that said, thanks for watching, and bye for now.